Have you ever been in a situation where you're supposed to go work out with your friends and then all of a sudden they don't feel like working out, so you have to work out by yourself? And then you realize that you don't know how to work out by yourself, and then you're just sitting on the field not doing anything, or you just don't even go work out because you don't know what to do? I'm about to solve that problem right here, right now. And the truth about this problem is that if you can solve it and learn how to be able to train by yourself, that is the ultimate weapon you can have in your arsenal, because you don't need anybody to be on the field with you. You can go by yourself and still get leaps and bounds better than your competition. After this video, you'll learn how to do that. And yeah, it's better to work out with people because that's the most realistic way we can train for the sport, but we don't always have access to other people, and our schedules don't always line up with our friends or our teammates. So we need to be able to put in work by ourselves. I have 4 talking points in this video, and if you don't do the third one, then there's no point of even watching this video, okay? But let's get straight into it. Number 1, you gotta set a clear goal. What is it you wanna focus on when you're going to work out? Is it your speed that's a problem? Is it your explosiveness? Do you wanna get a higher vertical? Do you wanna work on your footwork? Do you wanna get stronger? Ask yourself all these questions, or ask yourself, is it a more specific thing? Like, is there a route you suck at running, or a release you suck at doing, or a situation that you find yourself in the game? Or it can come from a coach telling you that you need to work on something, or a coach embarrassing you in the film room because you did something bad. Whatever it is, have a clear intention. Whenever I go and schedule my workouts, I have about 1 to 2 main focuses for each training session. So for me, I'm a receiver. I'm gonna use myself as an example. Whenever I was in high school, I sucked at taking an outside release on a slant. That's the main thing I worked on when I was working out in high school, was my outside release on the slant. And then I worked on counters to it, so I can go outside and then act like I'm doing the slant, but then just go for the fade. Okay, so is it a release you want to work on? Is it the top of the route moves you want to work on? Is it just the fundamentals? Which, if it's just the fundamentals, that's great, because you see a lot of the NFL guys, a lot of the NFL route runners or receivers or players. See, I'm just talking about from a receiver perspective because I play receiver. But whatever position you play, I guarantee you those dudes at the NFL, they mastered the fundamentals. And if you went to go train with those people, you would see how polished they are when it comes to doing the most fundamental things. So do the most fundamental things. You're working at top of the route. You can be working on reading the A gap, filling the A gap. If you're a DB, it could be you doing your backpedaling until you're bailing out, or it could be backpedaling into coming down on a curl. Bro, the fundamentals is football. That's the main thing you need to focus on, in my opinion. And I'd say in a lot of people that are trying to help y'all's opinion. That's the main thing y'all need to be focused on, is the fundamentals. So get really good at the most fundamental parts, and whatever your weakness is, identify what the most fundamental part is and just rep it out, and have that as your clear focus. I should have said this one first, but before you even go work out, you need to have a clear goal on your whole training program. I kind of mentioned it, but it's what's your biggest thing you want to work on this off season. Take time whenever the season ends, or whenever you have time to focus. Take a decent amount of time to think and reflect on you as a player, and ask yourself, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and what do you really want to focus on? And some of y'all probably already know that answer. So if that's your clear goal, then have your main focuses of your workouts catered to helping you accomplish those goals. So like I said earlier, I didn't like my outside release on a slant. That was a clear thing I wanted to work on, a very specific thing I wanted to work on. And so before I even went to work out, I already knew what I was gonna do. On the days I do releases, I would do the outside release. I would rep those out more and more. Then I would do the other routes. You know what you need to get better at. It's not hard to find what your goal is. Understand who you are as a player and find your strengths, your weaknesses, and get those strengths better and get those weaknesses better. And now the third one, the one I said there's no point of working out by yourself and grinding on this field if you don't do this, and that's challenging yourself. Once you identified your goals, once you have your 1 to 2 focuses of the workout, of the whole off season, your whole plan to become the best player you can possibly be. So once you have a clear goal on a certain thing you want to work on, then go see what the professionals do. what you see the NFL players do at your position. Go watch them and see what they do, and then replicate it and challenge yourself to get it almost exactly like they will. Okay? And just challenge yourself. I want you to turn on the TV, turn on your favorite player's highlights or the best player at your position's highlights. And every move that you see them do, you got to do it. You got to keep on doing it, and you got to make sure that it looks exactly like them. And you got to become obsessed with it, and you got to really challenge yourself. Look at what your favorite player is doing, and then go on the field and rep that thing out until it looks exactly like how your favorite player does it. And I'm telling you right now, it's not the first time you practice a release or you practice your footwork, it's not gonna look like your favorite player's footwork. It's not. And if you can understand that, you can be in harmony with that fact, then you will be great. Okay? You don't need to stress about it because they've been doing it way longer than you have. So as long as you're staying consistent in practicing those moves and mastering your fundamentals at your position, you will be good. So know what the best players do and be okay with you're not that good right now. But as long as you stay consistent and always up the intensity and really challenge yourself, then you will keep on progressing and getting better. But you have to remain patient and you have to remain in this moment to keep on getting better if you want to see results. What the pros do are what you should be doing. Not what you see on Instagram, not what you see on YouTube, not the cool videos that look like people are just doing them for clicks. Nah, what actually works in the game? What moves, what movements do you see work in the game? And whatever works in the game, that's what you need to be practicing. And this last thing I want to talk about, this separates you and this makes you unique as a football player, and it's experimenting. I'm always going to revert back to an example of me because I play receiver, and I always say that running routes is an art. There's no perfect way to run routes. And so I'll see a dude in the NFL run some routes, and then I'll see something and I'll try to mimic it. And then once I try to mimic it, I'll notice that, okay, what if I try to do this? Like I'll let my imagination run free, and I'll just practice and I'll experiment with new moves that I've never tried before. Because I used to be, whenever I was younger, I used to be so prideful that I didn't need to experiment, that I would just practice the basics, which is good. I've been telling y'all to practice the basics, but you're not going to separate yourself if you don't experiment with new moves, if you don't get outside your comfort zone, which is a huge part in the training by yourself. Because you can hit the field all day by yourself, but if you're not intentional with what you need to do and you're not practicing with any type of intensity, you're not going to get better. You're not. So experiment, try out new moves that you see, or new moves that you come up with in your head, and try to see if you can replicate that in the game. Football is fun. Football is an art. Don't be afraid to try new things, because even if you try something new and you don't like it, that's way better than just sticking to one thing over and over and over. You need to get outside your comfort zone. And I've said this before about Kyrie Irving. He was talking to a kid asked him how he got so good at making left-handed layups, and the kid wanted advice on how he can make better left-handed layups. And Kyrie was just saying that we see him making all these layups in the game, all these crazy ones, but we don't see him airball the ones when he's training by himself or when he's in practice. He's pushing himself so outside the comfort zone and trying new things that he's never seen before, that he's only seen in his imagination. So do the same thing with your releases, with your footwork. You're a running back, try a juke move, try that Saquon hurdle. I mean, try things that you've never done before, because that'll teach your body new movements, and that'll just help your nervous system, your instincts out. If you're a receiver and you have trouble knowing what releases to do, or you just have low IQ and you want to get smarter, you really just want to develop your game and take your game to the next level before this upcoming season starts, I have a course you can check out. It's everything I know about how to play receiver. And if that interests you, go look at it. Or if you play a whole nother position, but you just want to become a top-notch athlete, you want to separate yourself from other players, and you also want to look good while doing it, I have a course that'll teach you how to look good and play good. It's called Becoming Aesthetic and Athletic. Go check out these courses. I'm trying to help y'all out so y'all don't have to waste time, because high school is only 4 years. And if you don't use these 4 years to develop yourself and to find things that'll get you better and to find yourself, the years after high school will not be fun. I'm telling y'all from experience, okay? And so I'm just trying to help you out and I'm trying to give you blueprints so you can take less time than I took. So it doesn't take you as long to learn these skills that you can use for the rest of your athletic career. If you want somebody to look over you, to watch your film, to be right by your side and really help you out and be intentional with your training, and you need some help doing that and you just don't want to think about it, you just want to train and you don't want to think of all the scientific stuff, man, book a call with me. We can talk about your situation. We can talk about what specifically you need to do to get better and to reach your athletic goals. If that interests you, man, go ahead, book a call with me. Or if you really like me, you can hop in that mentorship program and I'm with you 24/7. You can get my number, you get access to me, and I can take your game to the next level. That's a guarantee. Doing this for y'all to help y'all. I appreciate the support on my videos, and I just want to help y'all even more by offering you these things. Just to recap on the video, have a clear goal of the entire reason why you're training. Then have 1 to 2 main focuses for each training session. Are you working on your routes today? Are you working on your releases? Are you working on your back pedal into the coming down on the curl route, your back pedal into your speed turn? Then after you know that, how can you challenge yourself? You can record yourself and then over time see how you get faster, and you can do more reps over time with less break. You can do stuff like that. And then you must experiment with your movements. Get outside your comfort zone. Let your imagination run free, because that's what makes these NFL players. They have a mind of their own, and you need to have a mind of your own. And if you want to see how I apply all this information, watch this video where I walk you through a full Division I off-season workout.